Alrighty, so now I want to talk a little bit about two of the biggest challenges we're having in today's market and two challenges that homeowners are really facing. So, number one is the issue that so many homeowners are what we're calling rate locked. They either bought or refied at a time when the mortgage rates were so low that they feel it's impossible for them to sell right now because in order to sell, they have a couple of challenges. They need to be able to buy something, which again, in today's market, there's so little inventory that they don't think they're going to be able to buy. And if they buy, they're going to be paying so much more for the new house in terms of the interest rate. So that's kind of keeping them locked into their home. So I want to share with you some statistics about how many homeowners are currently in their homes at various interest rate kind of price points. So right now, the average mortgage rate for existing homeowners for their mortgages, so mortgages that they already have and that they're in, is less than 4%. I want to think about that for a second. The average mortgage rate of current homeowners is less than 4%. Almost 25% are less than 3%. So they either bought or refied when the mortgage rates went really low. So 25% are sitting under 3%. It is going to take some strong motivation, some strong life-changing event to get those folks to sell, because anything they buy, if they bought a $500,000 house and are paying 2.7, and they bought a $500,000 house now and they're paying 6 point whatever, they've basically more than doubled their carrying cost. So that's unless they have a life-changing event that's happening, they are not going to be our ready sellers at this moment. 40.8% of homeowners are between 3 and 4%. Again, same scenario. So now we're talking 65-ish% of the existing homes have mortgage rates under 4%. So again, borrowing a really life-changing event that's happening, which does happen, death, divorce, diapers, diamonds, as we say, there's all of these things. Those people will have to sell regardless. So looking at some of the other interest rates, 20% are between 4 and 5%, 7% are between 5 and 6, and 7.5% are over 6. So we've got kind of like 15% of the market, basically, that are over 5%. Now, again, there are people, this is kind of the hidden market, who have no mortgage, right? They've been in their house for 30 years, 40 years, and they have no mortgage. So this kind of scenario is not impacting them. The people who are sitting with these mortgages are saying, okay, let's say I can sell, because they can sell. It's a great time to be selling because the inventory level is so low. So if they sell, then they're saying, well, what am I buying? I'm not even going to be able to find something to buy. And I'm going to have to pay such an incrementally higher mortgage rate for what I buy that it doesn't make sense for them. But if we, again, really focus on the people who have been in their house, even let's say 25 or more years, and maybe considering downsizing, those people have either paid off their mortgage or come close to paying off their mortgage. They've had a tremendous amount of appreciation in their home. So as long as they haven't refied and pulled out a lot of cash, they are sitting on a nice size nest egg there of equity in their home that they can take out, whether it's to buy something bigger or smaller, whatever way they're going, they're going to be able to really transition without the interest rate situation impacting them and without the lack of inventory coming into play as much, because they're going to be basically a cash or near all cash buyer and will be in a really strong position to make another purchase without the interest rate issue impacting them. So I suggest everybody really focus on neighborhoods that tend to have a lot of people who have been in their homes for a long time, people that that might be thinking of downsizing, people that might be thinking of retiring, going into assisted living. This is the inventory that's going to be coming on the market, and that will help kind of revitalize everything. Because I know there are still a lot of buyers out there. I mean, I've seen the open houses with 20, 30, 40, 50. I even read about one of the people in New Jersey who had almost 100 people Think about that. Buyers come through that house. If we had the inventory, we would be having the sales. But our inventory is about 20% lower than it was January of last year. So we just don't have the inventory. On the positive side, it's keeping the prices strong, right? We're not in free fall by any stretch because we don't have enough inventory, but it is still kind of making that market very tight for our buyers because there's just not a lot of inventory out there. So I do suggest reaching out to your sphere of influence, reaching out to your neighborhoods, seeing who might be thinking of selling, especially people who are long-term homeowners.